So generally for a tiramisu, you have those sponge fingers which are then dipped into coffee or a coffee liqueur and such, so as a nice flavor. But this dish is going to have no alcohol in it. But I still want the nice brown coffee color to come. So for that, there is a cheat. And this is a very simple cheat, and I promise you, this dish is very child friendly. The kids can also have it because there is no alcohol in that. Also, there is no egg in this dish. The brown color, the coffee color, is mimicked by cocoa powder. So the cocoa powder gives it a nice brown color to the dish, which will contrast extremely well with the mango. Now the cocoa powder is unsweetened, so I add in a little sugar in that, and all I do is make a liquid, which is a dark liquid in which I can then soak in these sponge fingers. So for that, warm water, keep it quite thin and runny because you want the biscuits to absorb the liquid. Now at this stage, I use warm water. I need to let this cool down. If you put your sponge fingers or the biscuits into this, it will become very soggy and moist. You want to lightly dip it so it gets the color and the flavor of the cacao or the chocolate, but not too soggy. Add a little more water. That's it. And I'm going to leave it aside to now cool down. The second stage and the next stage is to actually make the mango mousse. So for that, I've got some cream, just normal whipping cream. In this, I'm going to add in sugar, and then with an electric whisker, I'm going to whisk it up with nice and fluffy. Okay, the cream is done. You don't want it very light and fluffy, but just nicely aerated and lightly aerated, not too much. Now again, for a tiramisu, you use mascarpone cheese. I'm not going to use any mascarpone, it is just going to be cream. And this goes in my next part, which is going to be mango and gelatin. So I've got some gelatin powder here. Now for the gelatin powder, I'm going to use water, little warm water to dissolve the gelatin. You can use agar, even that would work fine. Just stir the gelatin with the warm water just to ensure that it melts through all together and dissolves into the water. The gelatin is dissolved. Now this gelatin, I then add it into mango puree. Now this is around approximately mango and a half which has been pureed. Normally what we do in restaurant is when we have the season of mangoes, we buy the bulk of mangoes, peel them, cut the mango fresh into cubes, blitz it up, and then put them into a pot and lightly cook it down till it becomes a bit thick, and also add a little sugar in that. That preserves the mango puree. Alternatively, you can actually buy in a mango puree and it's perfectly okay. Now why do we add sugar in the mango puree when we cook it? It's also because not all mangoes are ripe or sweet enough. Some of them are still quite acidic and sharp and sour. So the sugar balances it out. And what you get is a very consistent product across the range. The gelatin goes into the mango puree. Stir that in. Just going to ensure that all the gelatin is mixed well with the mango puree. And this now goes into the cream mixture. So the gelatin is going to hold the mousse together or the cream together. Normally in tiramisu you add eggs and that holds the egg. There's also mascarpone cheese which helps to bind the mixture together. But here is gelatin. Now you can use any kind of a fruit puree you want in season. If you want to use guavas, you want to use raspberries, you want to use strawberries, the choice is yours. And now all you do is you mix the mango puree into the cream, and you see the color changes. It picks on the beautiful yellow color of the mango. Look at that. That looks so divine. Now if I leave this for too long on its own, it will set, which is the way I want it. But I want it to go inside a glass bowl. So I'm going to quickly move on to my next part. I'll leave that aside. And then we get our cocoa powder mixture. So we've got our cocoa powder, we've got our sponge fingers, and we have our bowl where we're going to actually serve it in. Now I'm using a glass bowl, but you can use a martini glass, or you can use a glass tray as such. You can arrange the biscuits and pour in the mousse in that. Even that works fine. The trick here is, do not soak these biscuits for too long. If you soak it for too long, they become very soggy. So literally in and out. And you see, they pick up the wonderful color of the cocoa. And you arrange them on the sides. So I've lined my bowl with the soaked sponge with cacao liquid, and look at the color, nice and brown, just the way I wanted it. That mimics the coffee color. And all I do now is pour in my mango mix. I'm going to pour it right till the top, till the rim. All the extra which you have can also be put into small glass bowls and stuff, or small glasses, and you can keep them. So you can actually portion control and just make enough per person. There we are. This mixture is now set. Lightly tap it. This is almost ready. All I will do now is put this into a fridge for the next 30 minutes for the mousse to set, and then we'll have it plated. The next thing I'm going to do is actually going to make the garnish, which is going to be a sugar ball.
you.